What if Draco Meteor was in Gen 1 OU? Now, do I even need to explain why this is a pretty relevant change? Like, it's not the biggest change in the world. I wouldn't say this on the degree as it would be if we added, like, let's say Scald or even the Beta Bee Will-O-Wisp. But there's definitely one Pokemon that really appreciates this. Give Dragonite Stab, and suddenly, yeah, it's a little bit better. One might even say, too much for underused. Strangely enough, Dragonite is even the only Pokemon that we have to talk about, because there's also Mew. Mew can also learn Draco Meteor, and this isn't as interesting, but I still think it's worth going over, just because, it gives Mew a very unique option that most other Pokemon don't have. I won't go too much into it, but I will say that I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I think it's very possible that Dragonair also could move up a tier. I don't know if it's PU, NU, or if, it just becomes a really crappy Dragonite and just moves into NU. That's probably going a little too far. But the regular Dragonair having Draco Meteor could be interesting. That gives it a pretty strong stab move. And with only 70 special, I don't think it would be too bad. So agility, wrap, and then, I don't know, maybe I guess it technically has higher attack, but I don't know. It can be whatever you want. I won't go over too much, I won't go over it here. You can tell me in the comments where you think a regular Dragonair would be. But for regular Dragonite, I don't think there's any doubt in anyone's mind that this thing is just OU proper. It's using a 140 base power move on 100 special. Now, I've seen some people say that this thing is basically using Explosion, because in Gen 1 custom games, even if Draco Meteor KOs an opponent, you still get the special drop. So it's not like, let's say, Hyper Beam, for example. And no, I don't think it's like Hyper Beam, nor is it like Explosion. And that's because Draco Meteor definitely hits super hard. But I don't think it's as crazy as you... Okay, I can't say that. I can't say it's not as crazy as you think, but if you're going to try to compare it to Explosion, I'm expecting, very consistent OHKOs, or at the very least killing things at 80%. And that's not really the case. If it's a crit, yeah, Dragonite has a great crit rate, and with the crit, it basically is like hitting with Explosion. But if not, it's doing around half, which is insane. Do not get me wrong, that is stupid amount of damage, but not Explosion level. But I don't think it ever needed to be. All you really need is a strong special move with Rapid Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam in of itself is insane power. So with Dragonite's high attack stat and with Hyper Beam, and then with Draco Meteor to kill something on the special side, that with Rapid Agility makes Dragonite a very dangerous and very annoying late game cleaner. So I don't think there's too much I can really add to this. Because outside of one new move, Dragonite doesn't really change that much. And I'll give you a spoiler right now. Mew doesn't really change that much either. Honestly, Draco Meteor has no business on Mew. There's just nothing that it helps Mew with. Mew with Draco Meteor, don't get me wrong, it'll catch people off guard. But who are you using it for? No, I'll give the benefit of the doubt. Or actually, never mind. I was going to give it the benefit of the doubt and say it's always stronger than Stab Psychic. But I think probably they'd be around equal. Wouldn't they? What was... isn't, Psychic basically 140 power when you count Stab or something? I don't know. The point is, one of them is significantly better. Psychic is way better than Draco Meteor. You get Stab, you don't have to worry about your special being lowered, more accurate, and even then, you don't use Psychic on Mew. Because Mewtwo is an Ubers, and it's faster than you. It has amnesia. It's literally you, but better. And how exactly does Draco Meteor beat that? Your best case scenario, I guess, would be getting a crit. But even then, if you're going to hit with a critical Draco Meteor, at that point you might as well go for a critical Body Slam, or Earthquake, or Explosion. Mew in Gen 1 Ubers is primarily a Swords Dancer, unless you feel like being a funny man and using Transform. There is really no benefit to using Draco Meteor. It adds nothing, and most of the time Mewtwo's using Amnesia, Draco Meteor's doing pitiful damage, or you can get a crit. But spoiler alert, Mewtwo can survive a critical Draco Meteor, and if it survives a critical Draco Meteor from your Mew, it's still faster than you, so it's going for recover. And it can easily recover spam you, because once you hit one Draco Meteor, you're just well and special. Now, to Mew's credit, and I guess technically for Dragonites too, I'm pretty sure because it's custom games, Draco Meteor would only lower the special attack and not the special defense. But even then, like, who cares? So, all in all, Dragonite definitely enjoys this a lot. Dragonair probably enjoys it as well. Mew practically gets nothing from it. Now, we don't have a lot of replays. These are more so just going to be showing off damage ranges. I first wanted to show off how much Hyper Beam does. And yeah, that's pretty scary damage. Doing like almost half, but not quite. As for Draco Meteor, yeah, that's a consistent 2-hit KO. Although, unfortunately, you have lowered special attacks. You can't exactly hit it a second time. So I guess in that way it kind of is like Explosion. To where you gotta use it once, and once you use it, you have to switch out before using it again. Also, in case you're wondering, as you saw there, White Herb activated. I added it to this Dragonite. It doesn't work in Gen 1 custom games. I had a replay where it used Draco Meteor, OHKO'd the first Tauros, then I took out the second Tauros, and Draco Meteor only did like, I think only a fourth. Which, to be fair, is pretty insane if you're gonna have like lowered special, but still, it really wasn't doing very much. But you know what does? As you saw there, a critical Draco Meteor doing almost 80% to Snorlax. That's one of the other benefits to Dragonite here. I think quite literally nothing wants to switch into a critical Draco Meteor, or even a regular. Even if you switch into Chansey, even if it's not a crit, Draco Meteor is going to be doing decent chip. And with that decent chip, you can then Wrap Lock it and go for Hyper Beam. So yeah, it's just terrifying. Now I wanted to show off Rhydon, because I could have sworn I heard someone once say that Dragonite can just OHKO Rhydon, which doesn't seem to be the case, only a 2-hit KO. But still, this isn't that bad. And, okay, maybe if you stay in, try to go for another Draco Meteor. But it doesn't matter too much, because Dragonite, at the end of the day, has like freaking 80 speed, has a great crit rate. Rhydon is not risking the crit in the first place. Although, to be fair, what exactly is risking the crit against Dragonite? I don't know. But here we have Mewtwo. We're going to test out and see how well Draco Meteor does. And that's a crit. And oh boy, that did nothing. Like, that wasn't even without Amnesia. Yeah, this is like really bad. Like, that's kind of pathetic. The last thing we can ask ourselves is, would Draco Meteor be good against Tech against other Mew? And against other Mew, like, maybe, but I don't think so. That's a crit, and a critical hit needs to do half health. So, like, yeah, I'm sorry, Draco Meteor is not being used on anything other than a Dragon type. But that's about it. Relatively a short video, but what exactly do you expect when it's just one move and not a lot of Pokemon can get? Now here's a fun question. What other Pokemon, if you could give it anything in Gen 1, would you give Draco Meteor to? And would it actually help them? Personally, I'd give it to Tauros, because I think that'd be funny. I think the idea of Tauros, like, threatening the OHKO Rhydon with a critical Draco Meteor sounds amusing. But that's just me. There's not much else to talk about with this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But until next time, this is Groundback, and I look forward to hearing from you.